Coming up on this week's Collegian Report, find out why students and staff evacuated the Performing Arts Center on Wednesday.
Plus, university officials were called to a residence hall on Wednesday.
And a bill that would weaken gun restrictions on campus was killed in a House committee earlier this week. We'll have more. The Collegian Report starts now. Welcome back to the Collegian Report. I'm Andrew Levno.
And I'm Annie Witt. Students and staff evacuated the Performing Arts Center Wednesday after reports of a fire. Officials said an air filter caught fire after a spark flew into it. Smoke was reported at 5 p.m. and the all clear was given about 30 minutes later.
On Wednesday morning, some students woke up to sirens. Brookings and university officials responded to a gas leak nearby Ben Rifle Hall. Interim UPD Chief Michael Drake said the leak was caused when a snow broom hit a gas meter on that side of the campus building. A campus-wide alert was sent out at 7:30 a.m. All clear was given about 3 hours later. Students in Ben Rifle were not evacuated.
Earlier this week, the House Education Committee shot down a bill that would have changed rules around concealed carry on South Dakota campuses. It would have changed enhanced permit rules for concealed carry for Board of Regents schools. Students Association's Government Affairs Chair, Anna Hunt, represented SDSU's student government. She said the association voted to oppose the bill at an emergency meeting last week.
I have no doubt that this bill is aimed at keeping more South Dakota students safe, but as leaders of our student body, we have significant concerns that the outcome will be the opposite of its intent.
CEO of the Board of Regents, Nathan Lucas, and other student governments also testified in front of the committee. The committee voted 9-6 to move the bill to the 41st day.
Students got the chance to walk through the Tunnel of Awareness on Tuesday. It's an interactive experience that shed light on the struggles of different communities. Student organizations set up booths in the Volstroff Ballroom. They gave presentations about topics from Latino and Hispanic injustice to autism awareness. Graduate student Sierra Sizu went through the tunnel and hopes the experience helps others understand the struggles of certain communities.
I think I would want people to experience like a newfound sense of like passion for helping people who are different from you, and like I said, like supporting them, and maybe like taking your experience and using it to teach others.
About 60 people attended the event, which is in its second year.
Local pizza is getting international recognition. Brookings' Danger Von Dempsey's pizza owner, Sean Dempsey, took first place at a prestigious cooking competition. The Senza Frontiere World Pizza Championship is located in Rimini, Italy. 120 pizza experts competed. The Watertown native won with a cheesecake pizza in the dessert category. He's excited to take what he learned from the competition and bring more variety to Brookings.
So I want to do more than we're doing right now for pizza stuff. So I would just say trying to bring different styles in here.
Danger Von Dempsey's Pizza is located at East Side Commons in Brookings.
There are some more Valentine's themed events next week on and around campus. You can make paper flowers for your Valentine with the Art Club on February 7th from 7 to 9 p.m. Adopt Brookings is having a Valentine's themed craft night on February 12th. Jack's Junction is hosting a Palentine's dinner also on Thursday, February 12th. You'll need to make a reservation by February 10th though. For more information on these events, you can check Jack's Club Hub website. Coming up, we'll tell you how Cafes is giving students an opportunity to learn about agriculture on a global scale.
And a former Jackrabbit is now a Hall of Famer. Cordell Vitens has more.
The Collegian is SDSU's student-run newspaper. For 140 years, the Collegian has provided students, faculty, and staff with everything they need to know. You can pick up an issue on Wednesdays at locations all around Brookings or view it online at sdsucollegian.com.
This week's Jackrabbit Ag Report is sponsored by SD Corn.
Welcome back. I'm Taylor Tennant with your Jackrabbit Ag Report. One SDSU student is taking his leadership role beyond campus. Junior Dylan Spargrove has been elected president of the Midwest American Dairy Science Association's undergraduate division. As president, he will work with students across the Midwest to plan the group's annual conference. Next year, SDSU will host the conference for the first time in 10 years. Spargrove will serve a one-year term as president. Cafes is starting a one-of-a-kind Global Agricultural Leadership Master's Program. One of the things that makes it unique is that it's an intensive, one-year, non-thesis program that includes international travel. Leaders hope the program helps students connect with ag professionals around the world. Rosie Nold, Assistant Dean and Director of Global Agricultural Leadership, said it's important for students to gain global experience and bring it back to South Dakota.
As we need that leadership at that level and in those areas just as much as we need it in agricultural companies to really help those rural communities continue to thrive and expand.
Spots are limited. Priority applications are due February 15th. Interested students can apply through the graduate school website.
So that's an exciting time for SDSU to add that program.
Absolutely.
Yes, we have Lydia Hill with the forecast.
Thanks, Annie. It's going to feel warm this weekend compared to what we've been used to. Friday is sunny with a high near 38 and a low around 20. Saturday is going to be mostly sunny with a high around 40 and a low around 21. Sunday is also going to be sunny with a high near 40 and a low around 25. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Lydia.
Yeah, and as the weather seems to be heating up for you guys, it sounds like sports is kind of heading in the same direction.
Yeah, a lot of conference tournaments are coming up pretty soon. SDSU took their 5th loss in conference play this season when St. Thomas handed them a 77-62 loss on Wednesday night. The Jacks now sit at 4-5 in Summit League play. After a close first half, the Tommies would go on a run and take a 20-point lead over the Jackrabbits with just under 7.5 minutes left. SDSU would make a late charge though, as they would put together a 12-2 run to close the gap to just 10 points with around 5 minutes to play. The Tommies would hold the Jacks off down the stretch, in part thanks to sophomore guard Nolan Minisale, who scored 26 points on the night. Head coach Brian Peterson isn't dwelling on the loss and is ready for the team's next matchup.
But hats off to St. Thomas. They played well, played really good in the second half. But we also got to bounce back right away because we got another opportunity at First Bank and Trust on Saturday against South Dakota, a new opponent for us that we have not played yet. So, this one will stink tonight, but we got to get over it because we got another opportunity on Saturday.
SDSU will stay home to host USD Saturday at 5 p.m. After coming off a tough loss last weekend in Vermilion, the SDSU women's basketball team bounced back on Wednesday night. The Jacks got an 84-51 win over St. Thomas Wednesday night in St. Paul. SDSU controlled the game all the way through, never trailing. A big reason for the convincing win was the scoring of senior guard Madison Mathewitz and senior forward Brooklyn Meyer. The duo had a combined 40 points, with Mathewitz contributing 21 and Meyer adding 19. The team will look to keep the momentum up when they return home to host the UND Fighting Hawks on Thursday, February 12th. Tip-off is scheduled for 7 p.m. The SDSU wrestling team has now gotten 2 wins in a row to improve their record to 12-3 on the season. It started last Friday when the Jacks got a 37-5 win over Air Force. The Jacks only lost one duel during the matchup and walked away with a big win in front of the home crowd. On Sunday, they kept rolling, getting a 31-10 win over Northern Colorado. A big 3 takedown performance from Bennett Berge sealed the SDSU win over the Bears. 8th-ranked SDSU will host 19th-ranked UNI on February 8th at 1 p.m. to try and get their 3rd straight win of the season. Former South Dakota State kicker Adam Vinatieri became the 2nd SDSU alum to be inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame yesterday. Vinatieri spent 24 seasons in the NFL, 10 with the New England Patriots and 14 with the Indianapolis Colts. He holds the record for most individual points scored with 2,673, most made field goals with 599, and is the only player to have scored 1,000 or more points with 2 teams.
So a lot of good stuff coming from SDSU and the alumni, which is exciting.
I know, big congrats to Adam Vinatieri. It was always awesome watching him growing up.
Thanks, Cordell. Coming up, see how State A Thon served up a new way to raise money.
Collegian Radio on KSDJ is SDSU's student-run radio station. For over 30 years, the radio has been on air to broadcast music and news for students, faculty, and staff. You can listen to Collegian Radio on KSDJ by tuning into 90.7 in your car or listening online at sdsucollegian.com.
Looking to stay up to date on news around campus? Collegian Media is SDSU's student-run newspaper, radio station, and newscast. From writing to anchoring, taking photos and videos, or selling advertising, Collegian Media gives students in any major the opportunity to get involved. To learn more or to see what's happening on campus, you can visit sdsucollegian.com.
The Collegian Report wardrobe is sponsored by Trends, the sustainable fit.
Welcome back. State A Thon kicked off its push week with a pickleball tournament Monday. State A Thon is an annual fundraiser that raises money for the Sanford Children's Castle of Care in Sioux Falls. Teams paid $5 to enter the tournament. Over $30,000 were raised on Friday alone, State A Thon announced on their Instagram. Sponsorship co-chair Paige Stout said the pickleball tournament was a new State A Thon event this year.
I think it was just because we wanted to try and change things up. A lot of years, like fall and spring, they kind of start to look the same, and pickleball was just something new to try.
Last year, State A Thon raised over $160,000 for kids in South Dakota. State A Thon's annual event is slated for April 11th. That's all for the Collegian Report this week. We'll be gone next week, but we'll be back Friday, February 20th.
You can stay up to date on the news at sdsucollegian.com or on social media at SDSU Collegian Media.
Thanks for watching.